Okay. Hello. How's everybody? I don't even know where to begin. I decided to make this video due to the fact that I know the world is closed right now, as they say the pandemic, COVID-19, has, crossed our paths. So everybody is, running around crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know where to begin. I guess I'll just begin like March 21st. I thought I had gallstones. I was in a lot of pain. So I go to the hospital. They do a sonogram. Well, let me rewind that. I go to the hospital and they got masks, hazmat suits, and it's kind of like scary out of the out of a movie or something. And so finally get in. They're talking to me, telling me to put a mask on, and asking me, do I have a fever? Have I been feeling sick, tired, sneak, all of the above symptoms or whatever. And I said, no. I said, I have, abdominal pains, so they admit me in. They get me to the back really quick, which was awesome. Kind of find out. They told me I had gallstones. I said, I think I had gallstones. I didn't say I can't. I'm not a doctor. So they ran with that, did a sonogram and said, yeah, you got gallstones, blah, blah, blah. Okay, gave me medicine, sent me out. This was like the shortest emergency visit ever, right? So with that being said, went home, took the medicine. Oh, yeah, and he gave me a paper to call a surgeon. And he was like, well, you're not going to be able to get in now because, of the pandemic, and all that other stuff. So I was just like, okay, well, at least I know what's going on. I know what's wrong so I could try and figure out, herbally, not on a non-medical level, but, try and fix the whole problem so I won't have to go back to the hospital. You know what I mean? Plus, also I work at a hospital, which is a great freaking hospital. I love them and I miss you guys. Anyway, so go home, take the medicine. Now, mind you, I went there March 21st. Now, here it is, April, right? Still in pain, going to work, getting scanned, no fever, no nothing. You know what I mean? Wearing a mask, you know what I mean? And this was March 3rd. I'm in a lot of pain. So I'm just like, okay, usually when I go to work, I can kind of, focus on whatever, taking care of my patients, my babies or whatever, and do my job. And by the time I get done and I go home, I'm in pain. So I'll, curl up like I am right now in the bed and go to sleep away for the next day. This time I was just in too much pain. And, my coworkers was just like, you look pale, you don't look right, something's not right, you need to go down to the ER. So wind up getting in a wheelchair, getting wheeled down to the ER. Come to find out, I tell them what's going on. They the doctor bust out and was like, that's not where your gallstones is at. Because he was like, where's the pain at? And I said, it's around my navel. He said, that's not gallstones. Right? So he does a CT scan. And he asked me what hospital did I go to and get this diagnosis. And I told him. So they get the information over there, and he just was like, well, we're going to get you a CT scan to see what's going on. Boom. Come back. Now, mind you, this doctor is fully gowned up. This doctor has goggles on, okay? This doctor has a mask, so it's just like, it's serious. It's really serious, you know what I mean? And it's like, can't have nobody come in there with you. So, excuse me. So it's just like, it's scary, it's sad, and it's cold. And it's just like, I'm sitting in this room, not knowing what's what. I get this one awesome nurse, and I get another nurse that's just like, she come by when she feel like it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and I have anxiety really, really bad. And they think that I have high blood pressure. A lot of doctors think that I have high blood pressure. I have anxiety. Places and things that I'm not familiar with, I am strung out with high anxiety. You know what I mean? And it's just, but anyway, so after a couple of hours or so, they come back and they was just like, we got the results. You don't have gallstones. You have cancer. All the blood that was in my face went down to my feet. And the nurse that was there was really, really sweet. But it was just like, they snatched the Band-Aid off and was just like, you got cancer. And that was that. And the nurse tried to hug me, but it was just like, I have anxiety. I don't know you. I appreciate you. I love you dearly. Appreciate the service that you do and the doctor. But it was just like, the way they said it was just like so cold and so hard. And I was just like devastated. Here it is. I'm in the hospital by myself and they tell me this. So what do? I'm like, okay, I'm running all my family members in my head, and I'm just like, okay, if I call my mom's going to have a hysterical hissy fit. My kids, oh God, what am I going to do about my kids? Just everything, running in your head like, oh my God, this is it. This is the big one. Oh no, all this, you know what I mean? So I called my uncle that lives in Maryland, and I told him what was going on, and I cried on the phone with him. And right when, my uncle's on the phone, the doctor comes back in and states that, basically what is going on. He said your large intestine, your small intestine went into your large intestine and you have a tumor, and the tumor is cancer. And you're going to have to go and have surgery to get the tumor removed, and the surgeon's on his way. So I'm just like, okay, all right. That's some good news, because if it's there and they can get it out, then maybe it won't spread. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in so much pain to where it's just like, I'm like pain where it's like anything I eat is just, my whole stomach is like, you ever had like a burning, like heartburn? You think it's an ulcer or whatever. That's how it was. No matter what I ate, the only thing that would cool my stomach off was water. So I lost a lot of weight, during that time. So anyway, to speed things up, I had my surgery. They did the test. They tested me for COVID that same day on the 3rd, before I went into surgery the next morning at 8. You know what I mean? And got the results that morning. So all my whole team that was, preparing for my surgery, the surgery techs, the nurses, the anesthesiologists, everybody, they knew I didn't have it. So it was just like, okay, so I'm not a threat for them and they're not a threat for me. You know what I mean? Which was awesome. They introduced themselves. They asked me questions. Everybody. I met everybody, which was an awesome team. Awesome. So boom. They had to take the tumor out and remove my right colon, reconstruct a few things. You know what I mean? But I'm good, right? I got this line going down my belly line. I got to cut, so to speed you up to now. So I got staples in my stomach, right? I go and get the staples out on the 10th of April. Now, mind you, I got sick on my mom's birthday. And then the next day, like the 5th, was my grandma's birthday. So it was just like a lot of stuff going on, So I go and to get my staples taken out. I get my staples taken out. My surgeon tells me, he was like, yeah, you have cancer. You have cancer. You have lymphoma. And seeing that you're here, we could get you to see, a doctor for your cancer and get your treatments done. Snatch that Band-Aid off right now, get it taken care of right now. So I was just like, you know what? I'm here. I know the world is closed. I don't need to be even more sick, not be able to get in and deal with my situation, because who knows, by the time that the place, the world opened back up, I may not be here. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, I have this disease. Let me fix it. Let me fix it now. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go for my consultation. And that's what I did. You know what I mean? I went to a consultation with one of, the doctors that, that does the cancer, the chemo treatments and stuff. She sat with me and would talk to me about everything, you know what I mean? Which was awesome, which was good. You know what I mean? And I was just like, okay, well, it's a lot to take in, especially when you're by yourself. Oh my gosh. I was just like system overload. Like, I felt like I was in Charlie Brown type movie. Want. But I understood, bits and pieces of everything. So that ride home was something else. I had my best friend, well, one of my best friends with me, and he just was like really quiet the whole ride. Like, oh my goodness, we gonna pray about it, we gonna figure this out, this, then the third. And I'm just like, I need to talk to my kids. I have 3 kids. I'm 26, 22, and 13. And I was just like, I gotta talk to them. I gotta tell them what's going on, and unfortunately, some things in my family are kind of like secrets, which I hate. You know what I mean? But you can't change things with people. That's how they are, and that's how they're going to be. And you still love them the same. But as far as my kids go, with me and knowing what's going on with me, I'm going to tell them. So, got home, cried, was just like in so much denial. But it just was like, you know what? I'm still here. I'm still here. So, speed it up to that. Well, speed it up to then. I told my kids I needed them to come over on Sunday so we could all, have dinner together. So all my kids came. I explained to them what was going on. They took it in more than what I expected. They were just like, okay, Ma, we on this road with you. Whatever you need us to do, we there. And that right there, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And of course, there's going to be other people that claim to say that, you should have waited. You should have got a second opinion, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, that's what you feel. But as of what I feel right now, I got to worry about my kids. I got to worry about getting myself better, because if I go out now and go to work and not get treated, who's to say that I may be in more jeopardy than what I originally was, or vice versa. So it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So speeding it up, speeding it up, speeding it up, speeding it up. So I did get a second opinion, and I wind up going to another hospital that majors in cancer, majors in my type of cancer, which is lymphoma, and I had to, of course, give blood to see, how, how deep the cancer is, my disease is. And I also had to do a bone marrow sample, which I don't wish that on my enemy, to be honest. The first time, well, you guys don't know, I'm kind of a thick chick, so my wagon is big. So they tried to put me on my stomach and get my hip. First time, they didn't hit where they needed to be. I felt everything. Second try, they numbed me up again, and the second try was good. But pulling that bone marrow out, you feel all of that all the way down to your toes, and all you could do is just breathe. If you're a female and you had kids, you know about the labor breathing. You know what I mean? And that's what I had to do. And it was a nurse that was holding my hand, which was so compassionate and sweet. You know what I mean? So that was that, you know. And I had to get a PET scan with the dye and everything, you know. So I did that. And they told me and explained to me everything, what's going on. They was like, well, we want to put a med port in your chest. So, with the chemo, we don't, it messes up your arms, it could, it's the safest. So here it is. Here is the med port. You can't really see it, but you see the bruises. It's right here. And this is, you see the line a little bit that's going all the way up to here. It's on my collarbone or whatever. So it's just like still sore, still new. And that's from yesterday, my first chemo treatment, So anyway, so it did that. And I went and got my med port in. Yes, it's aggravating. When you turn your neck and when you breathe, you do feel it. But as time goes on, it's not as bad. See, I could touch it today. Don't pay attention to my nails. My daughter tried to do my nails and yeah. Anyway, so you know, I got my Medport in, and yesterday was my first day of chemo. They put me on that. Listen, they did my blood, and they wait for an hour, get the blood results back before they can even do chemo. That took forever. And then to see people that was in the room that's going for chemo, you don't know what type of cancer they have. It was just like so sad. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing, I used to work at the hospital. So it's just like to come in to work and then to come in for service, for treatment. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I go and it's kind of like dialysis. You go and sit in this chair. You have a TV. Got a pillow and recliner. You know what I mean? And got the big, IV stand with, the machines and stuff and the pump machines or whatever. And the brain or whatever. And I had a nice nurse, love her to death. She explained everything to me. It was really, really sweet. I guess she could tell that I was just like, man, this is not for me, especially when she did my blood pressure, because my blood pressure was high. It was like, no, we about to go. Let's go. Let's go. We ain't staying, you know what I mean? So it was just like I had, mixed of emotions. And not to mention that a little bit of background on me while I'm going through what I'm going through. My grandmother, that I love dearly, she had a stroke. And I knew something wasn't right when I was talking to her because her voice didn't sound good, but she didn't notice she had a stroke. You know what I mean? So she wind up falling and had to go to the hospital. She had pneumonia, and they did say that she did have a stroke. So praise God, now she's home. She's being taken care of by my oldest daughter, so I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? And I'm named after her too. So I feel like we're going through, the trials and tribulations right now. She's in Georgia and I'm here. So it's a lot. You know what I mean? So this is one of the reasons why I did this YouTube thing, because no one knows what other people are going through while this pandemic is going on. It's hard. So I decided to do a diary on what's going on with me. This is my diary. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So they tell me they gave me my results for my PET scan. They said that it's nowhere. They don't see it anywhere else in my body. You know what I mean? I got to see my heart, to see, as far as my Medport goes, and see, how my heart is doing. Yo, if you've never seen your heart in 3D, you got to go and see it. You got to go and see how it looks. It's beautiful, beautiful. I almost cried, yo. Seriously, because it's just like to see that machine in your body pumping for you. No words. Anyway, so everything came out good. Even the bone marrow samples that I gave, they didn't see any traces of lymphoma. So now it's just like I at the early stage of my disease. Because first they said they were going to do 6 treatments. Now they're only going to do 4. So I had my first treatment yesterday. Baby. I packed a lunch just in case, because they said I had to be there at 7. I wasn't going to leave until 3. So that's all day. That's a whole shift. You know what I mean? And with this lymphoma, you don't have an appetite, and you have to remind yourself to eat, So it's just like, yeah, swimsuit season coming up. Maybe not this summer, but next summer, I'm going to be right. But anyway, so my first treatment yesterday, you could feel everything through this med port, like the medicine going in. The nurse was telling me she was going to go really, really slow because, you know, it was my first dosage, my first, you know, everything. So I was just like, okay. When she first started putting it in, it felt like my whole breast was wet, like the med port or where they hooked me up at. They didn't hook up right. So my mind is just like going, I'm like, oh shit, this shit is going to fuck up I'm going to have to wind up my chest, my titty. Oh God. No, so I'm looking down, I'm talking to her and I'm looking down and I said, it feels like my shirt is wet. And she like, are you serious? It's like, yeah. So she stopped, she checked, she made me check to feel. And I'm like, well, my bra not wet, my shirt not wet, but it feels like it's wet. She was like, maybe that's just a side effect of what you feel, this, that, and the third. So I was like, okay, keep going. You know, so maybe an hour in or whatever, because they start with 30 and then they increase it by 10, increase. You know what I'm saying? So I think I was up to maybe 100 from the IV, right? I'm sitting there. Oh, I seen one of the people I work with, right, when I was downstairs. And I told her I was going. And she had called me. And she was just like, I'm going to come up and I'm going to come sit with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she did. She came up. She came and sit with me. And I was so happy to see her. But it was just like, during that time when I was talking to her, all of a sudden, you hear my nose stopped up, right? So just imagine my nose was stopped up then. Even worse, I couldn't breathe out my nose. My throat felt like I had my tongue, the back of my tongue hit my throat, felt like it was knives cutting my throat. Couldn't swallow. You know what I mean? My eyes was tearing. You know what I mean? And so I had to turn and I called my nurse and she like, what's going on? I said, I can't breathe. I feel like you know, I got a sinus infection all of a sudden. I said, I need to blow my nose. She was like, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to stop right now and we're going to see what's going on. I'm going to call the PA and see, you tell them what's going on. I'm going to email them. I'm also going to call them. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? She was like, that Benadryl, I gave you some Benadryl and that should have helped. And I said, well, it done wore off. I can't breathe. You know what I mean? So it was just like panic mode. Panic mode, right? She stopped it and wind up giving me epinephrine. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, okay? Don't shoot me. Anyway, so she you know, she put it through my IV. Finally, like within like maybe 45 minutes, I started feeling better. But I really had to blow my nose and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it was just like, man, I really had a sinus infection for like an hour. And that was an allergic reaction. What the hell? You know? But she got it together, you know. The PA had told her what she needed to do. So, boom. After that, she, you know, was like, well, we got to, you know, do you feel comfortable, you know, going forward with the rest of your treatment? And I said, yeah, come on, let's do it. You know what I mean? So I went to sleep for a little bit and I woke up. And then it was just like, I stayed woke for the rest of the time I was there. I didn't finish until about 4 something, you know what I mean? But after that, I was just like groggy, tired, you know, and ready to go. So my brother / best friend came and got me. Yeah, man, you know, all I felt was tiredness. You know, I didn't feel sick to my stomach. You know, they give you nausea medicine, you know what I mean, just in case if you do, you know, and they gave me Tylenol. I did have a headache though. My head was hurting like really, really bad. So, you know what I mean? I got up this morning, talked to that guy upstairs, you know, and just thanked them for waking me up. And it's like, I got to go back today at 1 o'clock, you know, for the rest of my treatment, the art chop for chemo. So, like I said, I only have 4 treatments. Well, now after today, it'll be 2 more. So I'm happy about that. You know, and I spoke to my grandmother this morning, spoke to my mom. She's down there with her and my daughter, you know, so they're fine. And my daughter that's here, my brother's taking care of her. She'll be coming home today, you know, and it's just, man, all I'm going to say to you guys is if you find out what's going on with you, go to the doctor, get you some insurance, go to the doctor, take care of yourself, and stay out these streets. If you out there not having a mask on and not doing your proper protection for yourself, you're only messing up yourself, because you don't have to have the symptoms, but you could be the carrier for this COVID. So it's just like, now I can't go to work due to the fact that I'm getting these treatments. So it's just like my money has depleted. I'm going through my savings and everything, but I'm going to be okay though. I know that this is not going to last forever. So I'm good with it. Sometimes life give you lemons and you got to turn it around to make your lemonade. So whatever your lemons are, turn it into lemonade. Don't go woe is me and be all upset about things that you can't change. Think about what you can change in the meantime. I'm going to be a professional student for a while. Simple as that. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys later on after I come back. Okay? Bye.